Ladies and gentlemen, today we're diving into a mind-blowing story. How could such a terrifying weapon end up in the hands of a villain? This is enough to kill one's appetite. Agent Pi visits. Despite years of working together, they rarely met. Now when they meet, heartfelt words take time. Agent G does not recognize. After years indoors, the world feels like a soulless dream. Looks like it's time for a bit of fun because honestly, the way people are walking around out there is embarrassing. Agent Pi seems to agree this won't do. He decided to take him to an agent store for a civilian agent. Though not as good as pros, it's better than running like me passes on the street. However, connecting to the agent, Agent G felt unbearable annoyance and suddenly disliked these new gadgets. He quickly bolted out. He was eager to crack the murder case and recover that tape weapon. His longtime partner, Agent Pi, offered to help, but Agent G worried head dragged. "Don't tell me I have to go solo." So he set off toward the human preserve, where agents aren't allowed but humans can roam freely. Just as the cremation ceremony concluded, he hurried to find the prophet but was instantly recognized as a cop by the followers. Without missing a beat, they went totally wild on him until the prophet stepped in to stop the chaos. However, Agent G ignored the prophet's teasing, sincerely asking about the weapon, knowing it was too terrifying to roam free. The prophet joked, "If I happen to find it, I'll deliver it right to you," and then had his followers kick him out of the preserve. Agent G felt down with nothing to show, when suddenly a young guy invited him into the car, another agent of Dr. Kate, urgent. He didn't dare use his usual agent to flee, as Dr. Kate wanted to inquire about the case. The killer's gone, but we know a bigger plot lies ahead. He reminded the clueless Agent G that such a terrifying weapon couldn't possibly come from just one person or research institution. The truth is far more. This is a multi-billion-dollar arms research project. Who on earth would spend that casually? The clues seem to be pointing back to the military. That night, Agent G checked the police's internal network and found out the Department of Defense indeed partnered with Visa. Even though they had terminated the partnership, the fact they collaborated on weapons isn't exactly a secret. While Agent G was lost in his own discovery, Agent Pi next door in the charging station woke up, slowly sliding out. He surveyed the surroundings, heading toward exits. Moments earlier, at his home, miles away, suddenly a mysterious agent snuck in, rifled through his memories, and shot him. The next morning, the prophet immediately called two followers to bring forth a box and hand it over to the federal agent. Inside was a terrifying weapon. Clearly, the weapon was heavily linked to Agent Pi's replacement, enough to topple the agent society. Meanwhile, Agent G confronted the general, showing him the weapon's photo, which initially made the general want to hide behind a confidentiality, but Agent G claimed he knew the whereabouts of the weapon, causing the general to immediately tense up. That dangerous weapon must not get out. Agent G traded secrets for the weapon's location, forcing the general to concede. The military aimed for a powerful viral weapon to end a war with one shot. However, they soon found that this virus was incredibly powerful. It could even kill the operator. The military dubbed this weapon the pot carrier. Because it was so horrifying, they immediately decided to destroy it and banned the development of similar weapons. But it seems Visa wasn't playing by the rules and secretly kept one. Upon hearing this news, Agent G immediately promised that the weapon was in the... This was no longer a matter that a small agent could easily meddle in. Soon after, two military planes flew swiftly to the preserve. The moment they landed, dozens of agent soldiers poured out like a swarm. Meanwhile, the prophet was still making a speech over the radio when a few followers realized something was off and rushed to break him out. The small preserve could stand toe-to-toe with the government not because of its riches, but because it's a civilized society. Before there was any significant threat, the government couldn't just start purging them over ideological differences. However, that day, the iron soldiers charged in, and the preserve's defenses crumbled like a house of cards. The prophet was struck down in the chaos, and as the soldiers went to investigate, they were shocked to find that the so-called human alliance that viewed agents as a scourge was led by an agent. The soldiers on the screen were left speechless as the monitors started flickering. Meanwhile, the operator behind the scenes gradually revealed himself to be Dr. Kate, the brilliant mastermind behind Agent Civilization. For reasons unknown, this great man wants to destroy all he built. Agent Pi in the police station finds the documents. Rushed to find Agent G with the documents in hand. While Agent G had no direct involvement with military matters, learning that Visa was hiding a pot carrier unraveled the murder case's mystery. The documents Agent Pi provided confirmed everything. The director had been bribed by Visa, and the killer was actually an informant for the police. So, Agent G confronted the director, alleging that Visa had wanted to kill Dr. Kate for some reason and gave him the pot carrier, which he used to send a hitman after the doctor, accidentally killing his son instead. The director tried to deny everything, even attempting to call for his removal. But Agent G was prepared. He pulled out a knife and stabbed the director in the back of the head, swiftly peeling back his scalp to extract the memory chip. Once done, he tried to leave the police station nonchalantly, but the director had already called in a warrant for his arrest. Agent G dashed to the underground parking lot, where Agent Pi was already waiting. Together, they made their escape from the police. As things unfolded, they finally realized why Visa wanted to kill Dr. Kate. He was not only the main funding source for the Human Alliance, but also the Prophet himself. Certainly, this is not difficult to comprehend, as Dr. Kate aims to overturn the entire agent society and was inevitably going to encounter fierce retaliation from the agent companies. However, Agent Pi seemed more concerned about the pot carrier's access code without it. They couldn't pin anything on the director. Just as Agent G revealed the code, Agent Pi immediately leaked his location to the station, resulting in a heavy impact for Agent G.